We have predictable questions for you to attempt your hands-on before your final exams. These are these four set of questions that we are going to dive into in this video. Stay tuned till the end. Okay, first, the distance between a tower and a house is 1/3 of the height of the tower. If the height of the tower is 60 meters and the angle of depression from the top of the tower to the house is 45 degrees, find the height of the house. Okay, as the diagram here illustrates. But first, let's also sketch it as well here. Let's assume that this is our tower. Okay, this is our tower. Let's name, okay, this is our tower, and then let's sketch our house here. Our house is here gently. Okay, our house is here gently. Okay, then we match the distance between the tower to the house, and then yeah, so we've gotten this. But the question proceeds to say the height of the tower is 60 meters. Okay, so the height here from the top over here all the way to the bottom over here is 60 meters. So here is what? 60 meters. But okay, if the height of the tower is 60 meters and the angle of depression from the top of the tower to the house, so this is where the house is, so we are going to sketch from the top of the tower here, from the top of the tower to the house. So let's say we are meeting our house here. Okay, let's say we are meeting our house here. All right, then we are saying that the angle of depression, so if we say the angle of depression, we'll consider the horizontal line here, and then the angle of depression, so the angle that comes down, okay, depressed, then this is 45 degrees from the question. But we are not going to make use of this. We'll consider, okay, here forms a right angle triangle which sum up towards 90 degrees. So if here forms 90 degrees, then we are going to take 45 degrees from, so let's say here is alpha. Okay, so alpha plus 45 degrees forms 90 degrees. So we see that alpha plus my 45 degrees, which is the angle of depression, forms what? Forms 90 degrees. Then my alpha is going to be equal to 90 minus 45 degrees, where my alpha is going to be 45 degrees. So here, the alpha here is 45 degrees. Okay, now we identify that here is 45 degrees. The question gives a certain relation, and it says that the distance between a tower and a house, okay, is 1/3 of the height of the tower. So the distance between what? Okay, let's name here, this is our house. Okay, and let's name here, this should be our A, our B. Okay, the top here, so let's be C, our C, all right, and let here be D. Okay, now we can as well see that saying this is the top of the house, let's also sketch, and we know that the distance here will definitely be the same distance here. Okay, the distance here will be the same distance here. Then we are identifying the relation that, okay, the distance between AB, which is the distance between the tower and the house, which is what? AB, the distance of AB is what? 1/3 of the height of the tower. 1/3, which is 1/3 of the height of the tower, which is what? A, here is our D. Alright, so AD. This is AD. But our AB here, which is unknown, is equal to 110. The AD is what? 60 meters. So this is times 60 meters. Okay. Then the distance from the house to the tower is going to be equal to AB is going to be equal to what? 20 meters. So it means that from A to B here, the distance here is 20 meters. Same here as well, 20 meters. Okay, now we identify that if the height of the tower is 60 meters and the angle of depression from the top of the tower to the house is 45 degrees, find the height of the house. So we are proceeding to find the height of this given house. Okay, how do we determine the height of this given house? Let's say that here, let's break into two, which means that the height of the house matching the same height, matching what? The same distance of what? The same distance of the tower here, I mean from here to this place. Let's say this is what? E. Let's put here to be E. But we know that from here A to E is what? Is going to be the height of the house, okay, which we are looking for. That means that from the top here, the top of the tower to this distance over here is unknown. So let's put that to be X, where we are going to find that. Okay, let's put that to be X. And that is going to be, if you want to use our SOHCAHTOA, we know that the angle here is 45 degrees. So if the angle here is 45 degrees, then we are going to have, first, let me sketch what is left for us. Let me sketch what is left for us. What is actually left for us? Let's visualize this in this color. Okay, right. Let's visualize that. So we are now left with this. First, this is the top of the house, and then the distance from the house to the tower. This is our tower, and here is what? 45 degrees. Okay, but then we are yet to determine this specific height, which we name here to be X. Okay, but the distance between what? The house and the tower is 20 meters. So now we want to determine this X. Okay, how do you determine that? Let's find if, assuming we want to find sine 45, is going to this step. Why? From our SOHCAHTOA, sine is equal to what? Opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite here over the hypotenuse, which is unknown. So we don't use sine. What about cos? Hypotenuse is also here, but the question is silent on the hypotenuse. So we can't use that. Then we use tan. That means tan 45 degrees is equal to opposite, which is 20 meters over X. Alright, and that is going to give us what? X tan 45 degrees is equal to 20 meters. Then our X is going to be what? 20 meters over tan 45 degrees. But our tan 45 is 1. So X is equal to 20 over 1. And our X finally is going to be what? 20 meters. So it means that the distance from here to here is 20 meters. Alright, but we know that the full length of the tower is 60 meters. Alright, the full length of the tower is 60 meters. So that is 60 meters minus 20 meters. That gives us what? The remaining is equal to what? Actual height of our house. This is the height of the house, is the same as this height over here. So that gives us what? Is equal to 40 meters. It means that the height of the house is 40 meters. Okay. Now let's proceed to the second question. A man 1.2 meters tall observes the angle of elevation at the top of a tower and finds it to be 60 degrees. So the man's height first is what? 1.2 meters tall. So let's find sketch question 2 here. The man's height is what? Let's say this is our man here, and the height is what? 1.2 meters. The height from here to here is what? 1.2 meters. Okay. Observe the angle observe the angle of what? The angle of elevation, okay, to the angle of elevation at the top of a tower and finds it to be what? 60 degrees. All right, the angle of elevation. So we can sketch that here. So this man is observing the angle of elevation at the top of a certain tower. All right, so it's elevating, so we can see that we can sketch this, and here is what? Our 60 degrees. We have to identify that well. Okay, so this is the angle of elevation above the horizontal line, not below the horizontal line, but above the horizontal line. Okay, then this is what? 60 degrees. And the question proceeds to say that if the height of the tower is 53.2 meters, so we consider here as well, there is a tower, and the tower here is what? 53.2 meters. So here, this is my tower, and the tower here is what? The distance of the tower here, the height of the tower here, sorry, is 53.2 meters. Okay, then here, that is it. Okay, then, okay, let's identify that they are all from the same ground. So since they are all from the same ground, one must not be longer the base than the other. Okay, so here, then we can identify that if the total length of the tower here is what? 53.2, and the height of the man is what? 1.2 meters, then we have to deduct that from what? The total length of the tower. All right, so here as well is what? 1.2 meters. So we take that away, so it means that we are going to get let's name our sides to be A, B, C, D, E. Okay, we have that our ED, the length of ED, minus what? The length of ED minus the length of what? DE. Now this is sorry, this is C. All right, the length of what? EC, which is here to here to here, minus the length of what? Minus the length of what is known here, DE. This should be equal to what? The length of, sorry, this is still DC. Okay, and this will be equal to the length of what? DE, which is here. So we are going to have that EC, which is actually 53.2 meters minus the remaining height here, minus what? 1.2 meters, and that is going to give us what? 52.0 meters. So that is going to be 52 meters. All right, so here is 52 meters. But what are we finding? The question said find the distance between the tower and the man. So we are looking at the distance between the tower and the man here, the tower here and the man. But what do we have? We have known that the distance here is what? 52 meters, and we don't know here. Same way, we have to use tan over here. What is tan? 60 degrees. Tan 60 degrees. Tan of the angle here gives us what? Opposite, which is what? 52 meters over the distance here, which is what? AD. Okay, and this tan 60 is going to be equal to 52. Let's say that our AD here is a certain variable m, so let the distance AD here be equal to a certain variable m. All right, so this is over m, so it means that m is equal to, okay, let's take step by step. So it means that our m tan 60 is equal to a 52 over tan 60. All right, 52 over tan 60. Okay, but let's see what is tan 60. Tan 60 is going to give us tan 60 equals root 3. So my m is equal to what? 52 over root 3. So let's see what is 52 over root 3. 52 over root 3. That should give you 30.022. So the m is equal to 30.022 to 139 meters. So in exams, you can equally write, if you have the time, write all the decimals. Okay, don't shorten it. If the question does not state the approximated to any given value or any decimal places, if you can write all of them, write everything. So 30.022 to 139, or at least 4 or 5 decimal places. Okay, let's proceed to third question. For the third question, you shall see the solution in the next video. Watch out for next.